Hey guys, welcome back to the Cyber Hack. I really appreciate you guys all hitting that subscribe button and liking the videos because I have been growing at a ridiculous rate and I love the engagement between what you guys are asking me and how I can help you and how the community within the subs and the comments are actually commenting for each other and and just engaging. So that's, really awesome to see. And today I want to bring you two things outside of cybersecurity to make you an APT. And APT stands for Advanced Persistent Threat. I want you to be that threat to your competitors. And what do I mean by that? Because this job market is so saturated with so many professionals, but unfortunately, you're still having a lot of vacancies and trying to fill these jobs, right? So you have one hand, you have a whole bunch of guys who are learning all this stuff and know certain aspects of cybersecurity. And the other hand, you got these corporations that are reluctant to hire newbies, right? That's pretty much it, noobs. So how are we going to kind of divert ourselves? How are we going to make ourselves stand out a little bit more? And my point today is that you being that APT, I'm going to show you two things that you should consider doing. I'm not telling you to do it. Consider doing because it's going to be very beneficial in your professional career. Now, you can take this however you want, but my recommendation and suggestion, it's more of a benefit, self-enlightenment, and also to educate yourself while you're doing all this. It's a benefit. Guys, it's not about how much you can bench press or how much exercise you put in the day, although that is very crucial, and how healthy you eat. All right, make sure you eat your vegetables and fruits, and stay off the uh, trans fats and fast foods. All right. So anyway, let's go into this now. APT, your advanced persistent threat. Why am I talking about this? We're not talking about someone trying to hack you or hack where you're working. We're talking about for you being that advanced persistent threat. But maybe we can lighten it up a little bit. You're advanced persistent go-getter. Okay, so let's go right here. First thing is never split the difference, and it's negotiation tactics by a former FBI negotiator, hostage negotiator, Chris Voss. I've watched, not watched, but I've actually followed the program. I signed up for his program on his website. You don't have to take it that far. You can just read his book or even listen to his book through Audible, which is awesome. All right. And you guys can actually listen in on his negotiation tactics. Use that for yourself when you're sitting through an interview or trying to sell yourself to someone, or maybe even a elevated conversation if you happen to be standing in there with like the CIO or some top management that may be willing to accept you out of nowhere. You may not even know that this person is part of a organization that may hire you one day, right? So do that, right? Listen to this book and or read the book if you want. I mean, it's free if you sign up. It's no way am I affiliated. I don't have any kind of Amazon affiliation. I don't get paid for any of this. I just love this book. I, even though have read the book, listened to the book, I've actually re-listened to it many times over because you're always going to pick up something that you might have missed the first time around. And I thought it was like, okay, this is cool, and then you listen to it again. It's like, oh my God, how come I didn't pick that up the first time, right? So do that. I mean, it's not a very long book, but it's really, really like there's a big hook that constantly just brings you back. It's not a dull book. It's not boring. It's just, you can use it in so many ways. You can even go to like the store and negotiate on prices, right? It's same concept. You just use the skill that you've learned and apply it. And that's basically why I'm suggesting this book in particular. But of course, there are other negotiation books. You can actually start looking into that as well. And I've done that, but my favorite one so far has been Never Split the Difference. So I know I'm like advocating this, and Chris Voss is a great audible voice too. His voice, and when you hear it, it's like, wow, his deep voice. He uses his slow DJ voice because that's how he negotiates with these criminals. So if someone can teach you how he negotiates with criminals, imagine how you can apply that to real life situations for a job, right? Now, he deals with life or death situations, hostages, people that can get killed. He doesn't have a, you know, oh, if it doesn't work, I'll try another way, or I'll try again next time. That person that he's trying to get out of the situation may not be around anymore. So it's crazy how you can think of things where someone's gonna teach you in a matter of a few pages in a book what he took years to learn. All right, so that's one. And the second one I want to kind of bring your attention to, also another book or audible that may not be related to cybersecurity, but can benefit your future professional career if you decide to get into this. Now, it applies to any career that you choose to get into, but this one is going to be called The World Greatest, the Greatest Salesman in the World. This was a book I've actually learned of from another YouTuber, and I was like, I've never heard of that book. So apparently, in this book, and I want to detail it and what I've been doing. So every 30 days, there's 10 scrolls. Every 30 days, you're supposed to listen to one scroll for 30 days straight. Although I skipped it a little bit ahead, I probably did it like in a week or two. I was listening to scroll one for like 2, 3 weeks, right? And then I listened to scroll two. When I say listen, is because it's all over YouTube. You can Google this, right? I mean, you can YouTube this, and you'll find all the scrolls broken up in a YouTube video. There's multiple posters, and you can actually listen to the scroll, and it just teaches you like yourself, like how you can be better, right? And enjoy life. And it kind of preaches, like, it doesn't get too like religious or anything. It just teaches you how to be a better person slash salesman, because your whole life you're selling stuff, right? You have to sell yourself to your wife in order to get her to marry you, or it was your girlfriend, right? You had to sell yourself, or vice versa, whatever the case is. And you go into your your workplace and you're asking for a raise. The boss is going to look at you like, why? What did you do to deserve any of this, right? You have to sell yourself. So the greatest salesman in the world is you. It's you. So take both of these things, right? You have your negotiation tactics now, and you're a salesman. So imagine what you can do when you get into this position of sitting in front of an interview. All these things are going to run through your mind, and you're going to take what you've learned on top of all your technical expertise and your cybersecurity training and your education. Now you're going to take that. This is where your soft skill comes in. Soft skills, your ability to communicate to another person, right? Direct to the point, and have them understand you without trying to figure you out. Like, what is this guy talking about? I'm sure we have sat in a position where you're talking even to a friend, like you're looking at him like all weird and stuff. Like, what are you talking about? Right? You need that soft skill, because when you sit in front of an interview for the first 3 to 5 minutes, they're analyzing you. And anything that comes out of your mouth, it's right there to the point, right? And if you can't communicate what you're trying to say, like more direct, you're just gonna lose them. And they're gonna be like, imagine working with this guy, or I'm trying to tell him what to do, and this guy's explaining like, I have no idea how, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to work with this guy. This is what is going through the hiring manager's mind, right? So can you imagine sitting there for the next 10 minutes and he's trying to explain and throw his hands up in the air like this, and you gotta go like this? No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to sell yourself. Being a salesman and being able to negotiate at the same time. So those are my two recommendations, and I'll put the link in my description so you guys can actually, Google it and search it up on YouTube. I'm positive the greatest salesman in the world is all over YouTube, because I search the scrolls all the time. But I did go and buy the physical book. It's a very short read, and we're talking about, I believe it's only a few pages. I say a few pages, but it's a very short book. It's not that large of a book. I think it's right here. I'm just going to tell you guys right now. Oh, wow. I can't even find that. Usually it tells you right away. It says it's a 2 hour and 33-minute listening length. Okay, because I have it on audiobook. So if a paperback, it was like $18. Actually, I think it was cheaper when I bought it. So the pages, the number of pages, just to give you guys an idea, is why is it not showing me? But all right, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. You guys can find that and look it up. It's a very short read, in my opinion. And also the Never Split the Difference. It's not that long. I mean, it's 8 hours and 7 minutes as far as listening length, but it's really, really engaging. All right, guys. So you could take this however you want. It's definitely you need certain other aspects of professional knowledge and training to sell yourself, right? If you're gonna go sit through interviews, you better know and you better be like enthusiastic. And I'm going to share a story with you during one of my other interviews that I was really shocked, blown back by the comments that I received because of my delivery, the way I delivered things, even though I didn't know everything that they were asking me, which was crazy, right? You would think that, you had to know everything in order to, get good feedback. Not necessarily. You just need to be able to present yourself and sell yourself. And one thing for me personally, doing these YouTube videos has trained me to speak directly to another individual, whether now interviews are more, virtual on Zoom. They don't need you to come into the office. So, you have this engagement where I'm looking at the camera anyway and I'm talking. Maybe you guys can just sit in front of the camera, record yourself, and or we can do it together, right? I could do mock interviews with you guys and it'll be awesome. I know some of you guys have been reaching out like, hey, how can I get, some one-on-one time with you? I'm working on that. And I think it'll be so beneficial and it'll be so amazing for me to do because that'll be like a next chapter in my book. Like just to sit with you guys one-on-one and we can do a mock interview and I'll be the interviewer, right? And I'll ask you a few questions. What are you trying to accomplish? Why are you here? Right? What is it that you're doing now? And what makes you think that you're going to be a fit for the organization? Sounds like a typical interviewer to me, right? So I want to thank you guys for being here. Please remember to hit that like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again really soon. Bye.